Hello, and welcome back to the Totally Schway podcast. Kind of. So, today I am going to go through some comments from the Two-Face Totally Schway podcast. I know it's a little bit late. I meant to have this up over the weekend with the Totally Eric Roberts podcast, but I have been dealing with some work stuff. You know, sometimes life is a bit shit and then we die. Hopefully long lives and all of that, but yeah, sometimes work stuff isn't fun. So yeah, Luke told me, he was like, do stuff that makes you happy, and this makes me happy because I actually get to read y'all's comments and I also get to talk to you guys. And God knows I can talk. So today, hopefully none of you guys are offended that Luke isn't here. He's here, but he's not here. He's actually busy in the other room doing stuff and things that are stuff and things. You might hear him cough occasionally. You might hear the cats coming through and all of that because I don't have the door shut. So yeah, let's get on to the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to have Luke edit the comment into the video. And then I'm just going to comment on it rather than reading it out. Because y'all know I got a stutter sometimes and I'm Southern. So sometimes, let's be honest, y'all can't even understand what I'm saying. But I do love what you guys say. So yeah. Thank you, JoseMorales, for commenting about the aesthetics of the show. Like the whole, it's not just the clothing either, it's like the whole aesthetic of the show. I am aware and fond of the Paul Dini quote, and thank you so much for sharing that, because I don't know if a lot of people have actually looked at the DVD extras. Hopefully they have. They're actually more readily available than they used to be because of YouTube and that. But thank you so much for sharing. And I know that you're a regular commenter on Luke's other videos. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for commenting on our podcast. LowellLucasJnr, thank you for the comment and the question. So here's my answer. I believe that the villains think of Two-Face as, you know, separate people, and each of those people they have an opinion on, or I should say each personality they have an opinion on, as if it were, you know, different people. And I think, yes, Harvey would definitely be thought of by them as a villain because, you know, he's an attorney, and a lot of people think attorneys are like sleazy and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I don't think Harvey was like a villain. But again, I would like to think that the villains would think opposite of me. But yeah, I think that they would view, as I mentioned, each personality as a different person, but I think they would all feel like they were all kind of partners in crime, to be honest. Oh, we have a regular, CapnAlces. So, Luke's interview with Stephen and David Trumbull, oh my God. Again, thank you for telling people to go and watch that. It is very, very good. Honestly, people like those guys need everyone to watch them because you get something out of it. It's not just one of those things where it's, you know, they made something that they, you know, from, I don't know, they basically made, not fan fiction, but they didn't just make like a carbon copy of something. They made something completely different, and it could be like a standalone. And I love that. And it really just got me in the feels because they they understood the assignment. And as for everyone seeing Two-Face different, totally agree. Because sometimes when I'm watching the show or when I'm thinking about the show, I will be thinking of a certain type of Two-Face that I'm like, yeah, badass, pretty cool, whatever. And then other times, it's quite funny and weird in my head, I'm like, you know what? That guy was a hurt guy. He was hurting. He was in constant turmoil inside of himself, and he could not help it. No matter what he did, it was always going to end up just because of, fate was always going to be determined by that coin. And that's just the constant turmoil thing. And I love both of those ideas that I have in my head about Two-Face. And yeah, it's great. Also, I think everybody has some scars from the near apocalypse of 2009. I am pretty sure I am still missing one set of eyelashes. And not the false ones. IronBison, if we could have, we would have talked about it for longer than an hour. To be completely honest with you, if I sat here and we talked about Two-Face, and I just put a mic in front of Luke and was like, no time limit whatsoever, I would still probably be very hungry, and he would still be recording because he's that passionate about it. And honestly, it's so cool because with Luke, you get this, he can talk about the character, the way that the character was written, and how, this, and this. But when you hear him talk about like his perception of the character and then the whole thing is so interesting. And I just have to say, I am married to like a cool guy, and I know he can hear me saying this right now. He hates compliments. So yeah, he's a cool guy. And yeah, if I would have sat here longer, it would have been longer than an hour. Ooh, it's Rdp! Hello! Well, hello to you too. How's it going with you two? I'm not sure about Luke. I think Luke's pretty busy with like work and stuff. Me, just like I said at the beginning, I've been having kind of in all honesty, a rough time in terms of the work department. But guess what? Things get better. Time goes on. La-di-da-di-da. How are you doing? Tell me how you're doing, because I would actually really love to know. So in your comment, you talk about no matter what Two-Face does, Two-Face/Harvey does, they just can't get it. There can't be a good storyline. And I would really love if they wrote about a character that completely recovered. And when I say recovered, I'm not necessarily talking about like recovered from a substance abuse issue. I'm talking about recovered from trauma, because recovery is constant, but part of recovery is actually showing the process that you've done. And it would have been really great to actually see that, for them to follow through with that at least once with this character, because I think it would have been so interesting. I would have loved to have seen if Harvey, came back as, an attorney again, trying to do the same thing, or if he decided to do something else, or if one of the other personalities, he let one of the other personalities completely take over, and it, that particular personality just wanted to do good things without being an attorney. I would have loved to have seen that. But I do understand that at the end of the day, there are people that don't recover. And just like life, it sucks sometimes. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen his story past the, sitting in the cell, just saying, yeah. So what is the bigger missed opportunity? Seeing Billy D. Williams as Two-Face in Batman Returns, or Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face in The Dark Knight Rises? Okay, I know this answer for myself. So I say Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face in The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to tell you why. I kind of mentioned it in the Totally Eric Roberts podcast, but I really like Aaron Eckhart. But I think they could have done so much more with the character of Two-Face, because in my opinion, I would have, I'm going to say it. I don't care if I offend people. I didn't care for the Joker character as much as other people. Just saying, okay? I did. Heath Ledger, great. Legend. Unfortunate circumstances. But Aaron Eckhart, funny guy. But when he does serious roles, he puts everything into it. And again, I think Nolan could have done so much more with the Two-Face character. And especially after, the storyline of The Dark Knight Rises. I think we could have seen a lot dirtier and grittier side of Two-Face. And I know we saw a little bit of it, but I just think we could have seen so much more. I loved The Long Halloween. I haven't actually read the Long Halloween comics, but I thought the storyline was great. As someone who hasn't read the comics, I think it was just great. I don't know what else to say about it. The animation was great. The voice acting was great. Yeah, it was such a good. I would have never have thought you could make 2 movies out of that storyline, but they did, and I wasn't bored the entire time I was watching it. I actually felt like I wanted more, and that doesn't happen very often when I watch TV or movies, because sometimes I get fed up before it's even over. As for the Batman's no-kill rule, I love it, because you see in so many, there's me going very ultra, 90s American thing. It's kind of, sure, okay, totally. So the no-kill rule is something that I really admire, because you don't always have to, end something in order for it to get better, because, reforming is something that happens as well. And yeah, in this show, a lot, and BTAS, a lot of the time you get the criminals that come out of Arkham and out of prison again, and they continue doing crimes and stuff like that. But if Batman would kill every villain or every bad guy or bad gal, there would be no Gotham. Let's be real, there would be no Gotham. Unless you're just talking about the really heavy criminals, then I still don't think killing is necessarily the solution to the problem. As you know, hopefully you guys know from my voice, I'm American, and I believe in reforming. I believe that, you do the crime, you do the time. I believe people can do the time and learn from it. There are people that don't, and they have to do that a few times, and some people never reform, but there are people that do. And even in a cartoon for kids, it is showing that it's okay to catch the bad guy and put him in jail without hurting them too badly. You're also welcome for us. You don't have to thank us for reading your comments or your questions. It's something that I love to do, and it really fills me with. It feels as if I'm talking to you guys like in a round table or something. So no, thank you, and hopefully we'll see more comments. Love you. Videocrowsnest, I'm going to talk about your comment. Obviously, I'm going to talk about it, but I thank you so much for commenting this, because it's something that I have always really kind of been peeved off about. I know I briefly mentioned it in RDP's comment, but I'll comment on it a lot more now. Something with the character of Two-Face, I have no idea why I feel like this character, out of most of the villains, is, in my eyes, if this was a real life scenario, I feel with the proper treatment and the proper care that he would be completely redeemable. He would be able to reform and to be able to get back into the quote-unquote real life and be able to handle, what life, throws at you. It is so annoying that we never got an episode of, what Harvey did after. Like, what happened after Arkham. Yes, we saw the devastating, effects of mental health and trauma and just life. But we didn't get a chance to see Harvey doing, the good that he always wanted to do. And Harvey did do good, but, like, in terms of, like, making the world a better place, we deserve that. Let's petition for them to write an episode like that, because it would be totally awesome if we got to see an entire episode about Two-Face and the recovery process, and not just the failing. I hate saying that with mental health, but for lack of better words, the failing of all of it. Let's see the success. Even if it's the small successes in Harvey, we should be able to see those small ones and the big ones, and let's see what Harvey would be like on a permanent recovery. Thank you so much for your comment, and we might have a potential job as show writers. Maybe. No promises, though. Yes. Zemox, hello again. I've seen you comment before. I love when you have a TV show that has multiple characters, and they actually talk about the multiple characters, like each character individually. And I agree with you. I do think it is kind of, I will say what you said. It is kind of lazy to keep going back to the Joker. But can I ask you this? Would you not continuously go back to the Joker if it was Mark Hamill? Obviously, I'm kidding. It would have been nice to see more of the other villains. You're right. But yeah, the Joker, sometimes it got a bit too silly, but that's also one of the things I like about the show. But yeah, as for the Halle Berry Catwoman film, I have come to the conclusion, and I'm going to tell you right here first, exclusive, I will not be watching it. I have too much respect for Catwoman and Miss Halle Berry. Miss Halle Berry is a goddess, a queen, and she will always always be one of the most beautiful people in the world. And I don't want to taint my opinion by watching, was it 2006? Whatever year that movie came out. But yeah, I won't watch it. Thank you. You were the deciding vote of me not watching it. So thank you very much. And thank you for your comment. I would ask for you to recommend me other movies though. Like what other animated DC comic movies would you recommend me watch? I have watched a fair few, but one of my favorite is The New Frontier. Justice League The New Frontier. But yeah, do you have any others that you would like me to watch? 128 Superior. When Luke saw this comment, I bet you he was like filled with regret for not waiting for it to be episode 22. I bet you he was like that. Were you?
Was I?
Were you filled with regret when we didn't have the Two-Face episode as 22?
I did kick myself, yes.
Yeah, he did kick himself. I don't know if you could hear what he said, but he said he did kick himself. So yes, thank you for your comment. FrozenJack, I am also Spartacus. Mikey P, I love your comments, but I also love your replies. He's Maximus. I love that so much. DFuxa. Okay, so let's get to Big Mikey P's comment. Smurf filter. I hated that, by the way, the sounding like a Smurf. When Luke told me, I am not tech illiterate, but I am slowly trying to learn more about like audio and stuff, and it was just annoying because I didn't know what it was and Luke didn't know what it was. I didn't fix it. Luke somehow fixed it. So yeah. Let's see. I would love to use the voice filter of in 2004 there was a movie called Party Monster with Macaulay Culkin. And there's a scene in there when he's like reading the words to the song, but I think it's like a bullhorn, or I can't remember what those things are called. But I absolutely love that sound, and I have no idea why. But if I could use a filter all of the time, I would use that one because I like it. So I'm not sure what happened in between that time or what episodes happened in between that time, but here's what I think, or here's what's in my brain. Two-Face carrying a wicker basket in the middle of a park, or let's just say a forest. Inside that basket you have flowers and berries, let's say blackberries because I love blackberries, and he's just frolicking, happy, dandy, lovely. Yeah, I think that is what happens in between those episodes. Just saying, frolicking through the forest, and I love it. As for the commenters reading off the comments, that could be something we look into in the future. At the moment, I really like Luke reading them because I do. I like listening to my husband's English accent. But yeah, it could be something we do in the future. So yeah, thank you for the suggestion. That's awesome, Mikey P. I'm not sure what the coin change is, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and I'm talking to all of you. If you ever see a huge coin that looks exactly like the coins in BTAS, don't tell my husband, please. Delete it from the internet. Don't tell him, because I don't have space for a big coin. Unless we move soon. Like when we buy this, buy a new house and sell this place, sure, go for it. But anytime soon, I will be so angry with y'all. Honestly. I mean, but it would be kind of cool. I think Two-Face stayed in Arkham. Honestly. He was like, you know what? We'll stay here for once. That's what I like to think. So I think in the near apocalypse of 09, I think everybody is, I'm trying to think, what will they wear? You know what? He's just going to wear his black and white suit and look, you know, like Dapper Dan. It's going to look pretty cool. And he's not going to look gnarly like they do in Mad Max. I think he's going to keep it classy, keep it cool, keep it collected. Well, the collected part, it wouldn't be Two-Face if he kept it collected. But yeah, it's going to look not gnarly. I am going to have to check out this video that you're talking about because I've not heard of it before, but I really love like finding out things from you guys. But yeah, one thing you guys should know about me, well, you don't have to know about me, but here's a little tidbit about me. I don't change my hair very often. I don't do like fancy colors or bright colors or anything, not because I don't like it, it's just because I don't feel that it would suit me. Like my sister-in-law, she has had every color under the rainbow, and every color that she has had has suited her, and I love that. I love how she expresses herself through like her style and stuff like that. But for me, I'm still trying to figure that out. I didn't mention that in the podcast bit because I'm I don't know, I'm a bit self-conscious about, like, I know what style that I like, I know what style I want, but I'm just too self-conscious to actually do it. That got deep real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna check out that video. I don't think anyone in this comment section or anyone that likes BTAS will recommend that Catwoman movie. I am coming to the conclusion that I might not ever watch it. I think. Oh, yes, I'm so glad that you got the Maroon 5 reference. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned in there that it was a Maroon 5 reference. I don't think I did, but I was hoping that one of you guys would get it. That song, I'm not one of those people where they're like, oh my god, this song got me through it, but Songs About Jane didn't get me through something, but it was a lovely album that it's in like my top 10 favorite albums because it came out at a time where I felt that I was just discovering music that I was going to listen to for the rest of my life, or the type of music I was going to listen to the rest of my life that wasn't just like alternative rock and stuff like that, or like Ella Fitzgerald. I've got an eclectic taste in music. But yeah, It's Not Always Rainbows and Butterflies is a quote that I use all of the time because it's the truth. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. And yeah, I like it. I don't know if I like Maroon 5 so much anymore because I haven't really heard a lot of their new stuff, but do y'all have any music to recommend to me? Because I'm getting, at the moment, I'm listening to a lot of jazz, like slow jazz type of thing. And I'd like to get something a bit more upbeat. I'm not completely familiar with a lot of Frank Miller's work, but the stuff that I have seen and the stuff that Luke has shown me, I have really liked. I'm not one of those people that just am just completely loyal to, when it comes to artists, that if I like an artist, I'm not one of those people that like, I like everything about them and like they're the only thing that's on my mind. I'm not like that. I like bits and pieces from loads of different comic book artists, painters, sculptors, all of that, fashion designers. So when it comes to people like Frank Miller, the stuff that I have seen, I have liked, and I could probably talk about that more on this channel if you guys would like, because I would like to get more into like finding out more about comic book artists and finding out the stuff that I like, finding out who they are, when it was done, and all of that. I know that sounds really silly, but it's something that I can, that I'm interested in, and that you guys might be able to help me with. I think people nowadays could still watch Roots and get the message, because it's, even though the timing was a bit odd in terms of when it was released and all of that, I still think people would get the same message. And Marlon Brando, I have Marlon Brando's name tattooed on my left forearm, and it's like a very sentimental tattoo. It has nothing to do with Roots, but just thought you guys should know that. Big Bug Man would win an Oscar. And that's all I have to say on the matter. I have seen a lot of people criticizing The Whale as well, but from what I know about the movie, it's talking about someone's mental state rather than them actually being plus size. I'm going to watch that, but it's on a very long list of things that I want to watch. And when I get a little less particular about the things that I watch, because at the moment I'm watching Law & Order SVU over again. And I'm kind of in that like hyper fixation type thing with that. And it is on my watch list, like many other things. I'm not sure if your comment appeared or not, but whatever you do comment, and questions and stuff like that, we always try to pop it in here because we love you, and you're one of my favorite people. Don't tell everybody else. Yes, the near apocalypse of 2009. Yes. Who knows? We might actually get to that one day and make up some like huge, big like scenario for that. Yeah. Again, I hope you guys like the Totally Eric Roberts podcast that we did as the April Fools. I had a lot of fun doing that, but I think I would also have a lot of fun making up things that happened in the near apocalypse of 2009. But thank you so much, Big Mikey P, as always. Love ya. And let's get on to the next comment. DFuxa, I love your comment. It's a Batman Beyond reference, and if you haven't watched Batman Beyond recently, this is your sign to rewatch it. Typically I rewatch one of the series in the summer for some reason. I have no idea why. I love having the air conditioner on and watching one of those shows. No clue, but it makes me happy and it puts me in my happy place, so I like it. Scrinwaipwr says, Two of a Kind is great. There's a video adaptation of it on YouTube, so anyone reading this can just go and watch it. I will do that when I have some time. Actually, I have made a note of that before, because I read this before and I liked the comment before, so I will do that. Thank you, Scrinwaipwr. As always, very helpful. Oh, Mikey P said something too. Even so, getting the black and white comics is still more worthwhile. I've heard so many good things about the black and white comics. And I believe Luke does have the anthology of it, so I should sit down and read it one day. But at the moment, I'm rereading a book that I read. It's a young adult novel called Go Ask Alice, and I'm really enjoying that. I really like rereading things, and it just, again, puts me in a place. But yeah, I will read that, because I do believe Luke has that anthology. Scrinwaipwr, you did another comment. Thank you. So yes, the black and white outfit obviously is the best. The Two-Face dressed in a sick-ass red and blue bisected bat suit, calling him an imposter. Oh my god, yes! Yes! I don't know if you can hear my snaps, but yes. That was an amazing costume, the red and blue one. I was never a fan of the one with the orange in it. I think I mentioned that in the podcast. But although I'm a huge fan of Halloween, gotta be honest with you, on a day-to-day basis, I don't like the color orange. What you mentioned about the figurine, that happens to me so much because I am one of those people that will put off buying something until like something like a collectible or whatever. I'll put it off until it's gone all of the time, and when I do want to go back to it, it's not there. I cannot tell you how many times that's happened, and it sucks. Whereas my husband will see something he likes and he just buys it right then and there because he understands that will bring him joy. I need to do that because I need a little bit of joy. So don't Scrinwaipwr. If I tell you guys on a podcast that I want to buy something and it's a collectible, just tell me to do it. Just spam the comments and be like, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Because then I will. Because then I can blame you guys. Just kidding. I'll be like, yes! PlayCONtent. I think if Luke had a Two-Face suit, he would like wearing suits more, but to ever get him to go have that suit made would be like pulling out teeth without lidocaine. I know it's gonna happen one day, but that day is not today. But yeah, I like Luke in suits, but he does not like wearing them, and I don't blame him because for wearing suits for long periods of time does not look very comfortable. Yeah, also Mary, I don't think anyone would be disrespected for not watching. Yeah, thank you so much for not disrespecting me for not watching the Halle Berry Catwoman, because it's not gonna happen. It's not. It probably will. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go back on that. It's probably gonna happen. Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna be so bored on like a Saturday or whatnot, and then it's just, gonna be playing at somebody's house, and I'm just gonna end up watching the whole thing because I don't want to interact with, people in conversation in person. Thank you for your comment. Oh, next we have David Carney. Hello again, David. How are you? How is everybody? Tell me how you are, because I'd like to actually interact in internet conversation. As long as I don't have, the social anxiety of actually seeing people in person tonight. That would be great. So, yeah, the puppets thing it's real. It will always be here. It's so real that, David, when I come out of where I work, I'm not going to tell you guys where I work, but when I come out of where I work, there happens to be a picture painted of a puppet. And I hate it. I have to look away. And I sometimes think the reason I have no vision in part of my right eye, because when I walk past there, I don't have to see it. That is how bad I think it's called pupophobia. I might be probably saying that wrong. Yeah. I've not seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was a Charmed lady. Because my grandma and I watched it together. It was a really good bonding thing. I guess we both thought we were bitches. I should watch that because so many people in my life say that I would enjoy that show. So because you commented on that, I will put it in my to watch. So it's not by the Halle Berry one, the Halle Berry Catwoman. Scrinwaipwr has another comment. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've not actually read up on it. I've not looked too deep into it because I like how I don't know. I really like that because sometimes I don't want to know. But it would be awesome if it was in 1949. Don't know why I say that, but I just feel like the 30s and 40s, they weren't like the best period in the world. I just like the aesthetics of the 1930s and 1940s. So yeah, I would have liked it if it was in 1949. So you make decisions by coin. I choose not to do that because I feel that I would probably always buy the sneakers because I would say, nope, 2 out of 3. Nope. 5 out of 7 or whatever it is, 5 out of 6, whatever. I don't know the odds thing, but I would do it until I got the answer I wanted. Like, I would flip the coin until I got the answer I wanted. Totally agree with you, Scrinwaipwr. There is not one person that worked on BTAS that did not pull their weight. It is a masterpiece, and it might sound like I'm making a joke here, but I think it's something that people can look back on, if, you know, they were in film school, or even if you're not, and actually say this is a masterpiece, because it's got great acting, great storytelling, the graphic part of it, brilliant, and the direction. It had directors that I would, if I, you know, was doing a movie, you know, people like Dan Reba and Kevin Altieri, I would hire these people to direct a TV show or a movie I was doing, because I just love them so much for what they did for this show. And I could say that about everyone who worked on this show. So yeah, totally agree with you. Sorry if you can hear my mouse clicking. And you were the video's 22nd like. I don't know why I almost said 27th. Thank you. That means you're awesome. I mean, I already knew that. So yeah. So Goodman 4966. Just want to say I really enjoy your guys' content. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because it's the reason why we do it is for people to enjoy it. And honestly, I do it because I think people might enjoy some of my stupidity as well. But yeah. Xehanort. I said your name twice because I stuttered. So nice. Did it twice. As mentioned above and beyond, I will not be watching Halle Berry's Catwoman, because you guys have told me not to, and I think there are better things to watch. Like, I could rewatch BTAS. The Phantasm commented. So I will say I can comment about the Catwoman stuff, because as y'all know, I love the Catwoman. I love the Selena Kyle from BTAS. In terms of maybe that one not being your favorite, that's fine. No, I hate you. Go away. Please don't do that. I'm just kidding. No, I love the fact that you've told us why that she's not your favorite. And honestly, I love when you guys have differing opinions to me, because first off, if everybody thought the same way that I did, it would be a very, very boring place. And number two, I love finding out more about you guys. No, I don't need to know your addresses, but knowing who your least favorite Catwoman or who your favorite one, not necessarily favorite, but, you know, one that you enjoyed more or whatever. I love that. I honestly love that, because it's just really nice knowing that people have different opinions of me. And I can go in and I can rewatch some of the other DCAU stuff again, and then my opinion might change a little bit. And I can see why you guys have differing opinions, and I love that. I hope that was a very circle question. Or not a very circle question. It was a very circle answer that I gave you. But thank you for your comment. And yeah, I'm not as articulate when I speak as Luke is, and I apologize for that. But I really, I cannot get over how much I appreciate you guys actually taking the time out of your day to comment. And I've said that before, and I'll say it many more times, but I really do truly appreciate that you took time out of your day that you won't get back to write this. And I do read most of them. When I say most of them, I mean I read the Totally Schway ones. I don't read all of Luke's comments because some of them can get quite not necessarily not safe for work, but there are some of them that I just don't want to read, if I'm being honest with you, because there are some not so kind people out there. But you guys have always kept it kind, and you've always made me feel like your comment phantasm. I'm gonna go back and watch the Batman, and I'm gonna refresh my memory of that particular Catwoman, and it's given me an idea of what to do later on this. I was gonna say this summer, but it's not even. It's spring has only sprung. And for our last comment, it's by LowellLucasJnr. Yes, Big Bag Harv looked at you with thunder in the background, because that is the only way Big Bad Harv should be looking at you. Alright, so I won't bang on too much about how much I appreciate you guys, because when I was looking at Phantasm's comment, I was doing that. But I want to thank you guys, and again, honestly, I cannot tell you in words how much this means to me. And you know, the reason why I keep doing this is because, one, even though sometimes I feel like complete shit, like today, for instance, I've not had a great day. It's a really shit day at work, as I've mentioned, and I just wanted to rot and, you know, watch, you know, YouTube or whatever, but I didn't, because Luke mentioned that I had forgot to do this. I didn't forget, but I started doing it, and it just made me feel so much better. And I want you guys to know that you have helped make my day a lot better. And I hope my silliness, and Luke and I talking about the, you know, DCAU and whatever the hell else I want to talk about, helps your day. And if it doesn't, that's okay too, because sometimes, you know, we need to rot a little bit, because that is kind of, in some way, our form of resetting and recovering. Am I going to be doing that tomorrow on my day off? Abso-freaking-lutely. I am going to not do very much, other than maybe nip down to the shops because I need to get groceries. And then it's going to be me sitting in some sweatpants, rotting a little bit, because I feel that I just need to do that for a little bit. But don't forget, we will have a podcast every other Sunday, and maybe from time to time I will do some other stuff on my channel, on my own channel anyway. Hopefully you guys will do that. No promises, but thank you so much for listening, and next time I will get Luke's ass on here so he can answer some questions too and talk about some comments. Love you. Bye.